Hello and welcome to the video guide on the Year 6 and Year 7 Maths workbook. This video will take you through the structure of the sessions and how to deliver the content of the workbook to have maximum impact on the pupil progress. The content is made up of 20 sessions that aim to last approximately an hour each. The first 10 sessions are made up of core lessons. These are high priority topics that gain the most marks in the SATs papers, and for Year 7 they underpin the key skills to access the Key Stage 3 curriculum. Then there are 8 further sessions that build on the skills acquired. It may be that you tackle these sessions in an order tailored more to your group based off the baseline assessment results. For example, if your group may have scored highly on questions on angles but have all scored 0 on prime number questions, you could then tackle factors, multiples and primes first. The last 2 sessions in the workbook are review sessions. These are basically to recap the skills from the core and the further sessions to support pupils to retain and consolidate the knowledge from the previous sessions. On pages 8 to 10 of the tutor workbook, you'll find details of how each session is structured, along with the timings. At the start of each session, you need to greet the pupils and ask them a few questions to check in with how they are feeling. It is great practice to use the pupil's first name and build positive pupil-tutor relationships over the course of the programme. The content in the workbook follows a 4-part lesson. The first part is called 5-minute maths. These have been designed as a settler and a hook into the learning. With both online and face-to-face tuition, it is sometimes the case that some pupils arrive a few minutes later. To avoid losing valuable learning time with the pupils who have arrived promptly, this task allows them to build up their confidence with numeracy whilst everyone is joining. If a pupil then arrives 5 minutes later, you can all jump straight into the next part, recall rumble, and start the session in the same place. The next part is the starter task, and we've called this recall rumble. This allows pupils to recap learning from the prior session. The main part of the session is made up of model maths and your turn sections. So model maths is where a new concept is introduced and follows an I do, we do method. With the I do questions, you as the tutor model how to get the answer whilst engaging the pupils with thoughtful question prompts. The we do question is still tackled as a group, but pupils should now lead the way using the modelled answer from the I do question to help them. Your turn activities allow pupils an opportunity to practice these new concepts independently before going through the answers as a group. Finally, it is essential that pupils are able to evidence that they've met the learning aims. In this part, pupils are given a question that links directly to the learning aim statements at the start of the session. This gives you direct feedback about what each pupil can now understand and any areas that still need to be mastered. At the very end of the workbook is a progress tracker to record where each pupil is currently at with the topics. Please familiarise yourself with suggested written methods on pages 8 to 15. If you would like more help with these written methods, we have a calculation methods leaflet on 360 Learning in the Maths Misconception training. Tutors often fall into the trap of focusing on how well things are going in terms of their teaching or explaining the concepts to the pupils, but forget to check whether the pupils have understood the key skills. It is therefore essential that you use effective questions to check pupils' understanding throughout the session. Here are some examples of effective or probing questions you could ask. Are you sure? How do you know? What's the same and what's different? Is there another way? Is this statement always sometimes or never true. And this one is more a leading one to help the pupils build on their reasoning. I think I understand. Are you saying? You would like to aim to ask these maybe twice to each pupil, particularly during the model maths and the Your Turn section, so that you can establish understanding. Let's take a look at a lesson on long division. Here you can see the learning aim of the session, the 5-minute maths activity. What you'll notice is that at the end of some activities we have super brain challenges. These are not compulsory for every pupil to have a go at, but it's for any pupil that's flying ahead, has either arrived early or their numeracy is really strong. It gives them an opportunity to build and grow and stretch their understanding whilst other pupils are consolidating their numeracy skills. Now you can see the recall rumble. One of the previous sessions we have was a long multiplication, so it gives them a chance to recap. Again, there's an activity at the end called What Do You Notice? This is an open-ended task, and it's for those pupils that have completed all of the recall tasks, and it gives them an opportunity to extend their knowledge. This keeps all pupils on the same task whilst ensuring that there's no pupil sat there not doing anything. Here you'll see the I do, we do structure for the model maths. The I do is where you will go through using question prompts. We do, the pupils will take the lead. And the Your Turn questions give the pupils an opportunity to answer independently. Again, we have a super brain challenge. So for any pupil that has finished all of those questions, they can move on to the super brain challenge. That does not mean that every pupil will complete the super brain challenge. Another model maths, sometimes you'll find that we chunk it depending on how many key concepts there are. So you might find that a few concepts are introduced before pupils have a go at a larger independent activity. Your turn. I do, we do. Your turn. Here we have a 10-point challenge, which is an independent activity. Before we end with the end of session review, you'll notice that these learning aims have been broken up and questions are linked to each learning aim. If a pupil can't spot the mistake here, or if the pupil can't answer this question, you know that one of those pupils might need some more support in one of those areas. Finally, the curriculum training team at Action Tutoring have worked hard to try and support every tutor to deliver high quality tutoring. We know that you have generously given up your time to support the disadvantaged young pupils that we aim to serve. Therefore, we have put together some detailed guidance, teaching tips, and all the answers in your tutor workbooks. You'll also find lots of support on your 360 learning platform in the form of webinars and courses. You can sign up to these throughout the year. If you would like to have one-to-one support with the Maths Curriculum Lead, you can arrange this by speaking to your programme coordinator. Lastly, thank you for dedicating your time to volunteer with Action Tutoring. The time you put into supporting pupil progress and building in confidence makes a huge difference to their future. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out and ask. Thank you.